Hello, lovely people. We are at Mark 8. Um, we are Mark 8. So, this one is Jesus fed the 4,000. Just my seat. All right, here we go. During those days, another large crowd gathered. Since they had nothing to eat, Jesus called the disciples to him and said, I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have had nothing to eat. If I send them home hungry, they will collapse on the way. Because of them have be, because some of them have came a long way. His disciples answered, but we're in a remote place. Can anyone get enough bread to feed them? How many loaves do we have? Jesus asked. 7, he replied. He told the crowd to sit down on the ground. When they had taken the 7 loaves and gave thanks, and broken them and gave them to the disciples to distribute to the people, and they did so. They had a small fish as well. He gave thanks for them also and told the disciples to distribute them. The people ate and were satisfied. After a while, the disciples picked up 7 baskets of 7 broken pieces were left over. About 4,000 were present. After he had sent them away, he got into the boat with his disciples and went in a region of Demulitha. The Pharisees came and began to question Jesus. To test him, they asked him for a sign from heaven. He sighed deeply and said, why does this generation ask for signs? Truly I tell you, no signs will be given to it. Then he left them. Then he left them, go back into the boat and cross to the other side. The disciples had forgot to bring the bread, except for 1 loaf they had with them in the boat. Be careful, Jesus warned them. Watch out for the yeast of the Pharisees and that of Herod. They discussed this with one another and said, is it because we have no bread? Aware of their discussion, Jesus asked them, why are you talking about having no bread? Do you still not see or understand? Are your hearts hardened? Do you have any eyes but fail to see, and ears to hear but fail to hear? Do you not remember when I broke the bread of the 5 loaves for the 5,000? How many baskets of pieces did you pick up? 12, they replied. When I broke the 7 loaves of bread for the 4,000, how many baskets of pieces did you pick up? They answered, 7. He said to them, "Do you still not understand?" Then they came to Bethsaida, and some people brought a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside of the village. When he had spit on the man's eye and put his hand on him, Jesus asked, "Do you see anything?" He looked up and said, "I see people. They look like trees walking around." Once more he put his hand on his eyes, on the man's eyes. Then his eyes were opened. His sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. Jesus sent him home, saying, "Don't even go into the village." Jesus and his disciples went on to the village around Caesarea Philippi. On the way, he asked them, "Who do people say I am?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others say one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Peter answered, "You are the Messiah." Jesus warned them not to tell anyone about him. He then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer for many things and be rejected by elders and the chief priests and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed after 3 days and rise again. He spoke plainly about this, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But when Jesus turned and looked at the disciples, he rebuked Peter. "Get behind me, Satan," he said. "You do not have in mind the concern of God, but merely human concerns." Then he called the crowd to him alone with his disciples and said, Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. And whoever wants to save their life will lose it. But whoever lost their lives for me and for the gospel will save it. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world and yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? If anyone is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, the Son of Man will be ashamed of them when he comes to his Father's glory with the holy angels. Amen.